Hello and welcome. Before we begin today, I need to share something important with you. Everything we discuss is general information only. It is not personal financial advice tailored to your circumstances. Your situation is unique. Always speak with a licensed financial advisor and healthcare professional before making decisions about your money or your health. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you. When we think about wealthy retirees, what comes to mind? Perhaps a couple on a cruise ship, a luxury home, expensive cars, freedom from worry. But here's what I've discovered after decades of working with successful Australian retirees. The truly wealthy ones, the ones who are genuinely thriving, they don't just have money, they have something far more valuable. They have health, energy, purpose, connection. And here's the fascinating part. Their wealth and their health are connected, not by accident, but by design, by habits, by choices made day after day, year after year. You might be sitting there thinking, that's all well and good for them, but I'm worried. I'm worried I don't have enough money. I'm worried about my health declining. I'm worried that retirement will be about managing decline, not enjoying life. I understand that fear. It's real. It sits in your chest when you wake up at 3 in the morning, when you see another bill arrive, when your knee aches climbing the stairs, when you realize you can't remember where you put your keys again. The fear whispers to you, you're running out of time, you're running out of money, you're running out of health, and you'll spend your retirement years managing scarcity, not abundance. Let me tell you something right now. That fear is understandable, but it's not inevitable. The choices you make today, this year, this decade, will shape everything that comes next. And the good news, the really good news, is that the habits of wealthy, healthy retirees are not mysterious, they're not complicated, and they're absolutely available to you. What I'm going to share with you today is not theory, it's observation. Patterns I've seen again and again in the Australians who are truly winning at retirement. Not just surviving, winning, living with vitality, with purpose, with joy. These people exist. They're your age. They face the same worries you're facing, and they crack the code. Not through luck, through habits. And you can adopt these same habits starting today. So take a breath. You're in the right place. And by the end of our time together, you're going to have a roadmap, a clear set of practices that can transform your retirement from something you endure into something you celebrate. Let's go back in time for a moment, back to when retirement in Australia was different, back to the 1970s and 80s. What did retirement look like then? For most Australians, retirement was short. You worked until 65, you collected your pension, and statistically, you lived another 10 or 12 years. That was it. Retirement was a brief chapter, a winding down, a slow fade. The concept of a long, active, healthy retirement simply didn't exist for most people. Your grandparents, or perhaps your parents, they retired, they slowed down, and within a decade, they were gone. That was normal, expected. And financially, it was simpler, too. The age pension was enough to live on. Most people owned their homes outright. They'd paid them off over 30 years. Their needs were modest. A bit of food, the utilities, maybe a new television, the occasional trip to see the grandkids. That was retirement. But look at what's happened. Everything has changed. First, we're living longer, much longer. If you're 65 today and in reasonable health, you could easily live another 25 or 30 years. That's not a brief chapter. That's a whole second life, a quarter century of time.
Your parents retired at 65 and were gone by 75. You might retire at 65 and still be here at 90. That's 15 extra years. 15 years that need to be funded, lived, filled with meaning. Second, the cost of living has exploded. Your parents' generation could live comfortably on the age pension. Today, the pension covers basics, but not comfort, not the lifestyle most people want, not the healthcare costs that inevitably arrive, not the flexibility to help the grandkids or take that trip you've been dreaming about. Third, healthcare has become expensive and complex. Medicare is wonderful. It's one of the great achievements of Australian society, but it doesn't cover everything. Dental, optical, allied health, specialists with long waiting lists in the public system. If you want timely care, you need private health insurance, and those premiums keep climbing. Fourth, family structures have changed. Your parents probably had siblings nearby, extended family, community, built-in support systems. Today, families are scattered. Your kids might be interstate. Your support network is thinner. You need to be more self-sufficient, more resilient. And finally, there's the psychological shift. Retirement is no longer seen as winding down. It's seen as opening up. This is the phase where you finally get to choose, to pursue passions, to travel, to learn, to contribute. The expectations have risen, and that's wonderful, but it also means you need the health and the resources to meet those expectations. So here we are, facing longer retirements, higher costs, greater expectations, more complexity. The old model doesn't work anymore. We need a new approach. And that's where the habits of wealthy, healthy Australian retirees become so valuable, because they've figured it out, they've adapted, and their patterns are clear. Let me share what I've observed. The wealthiest, healthiest retirees share certain habits. Not all of them, but most. These habits cluster together, they reinforce each other, and they create a virtuous cycle. Habit 1. They move their bodies every single day. Not occasionally, not when they feel like it. Every day without exception. Now, I'm not talking about running marathons. I'm talking about walking, swimming, gentle yoga, tai chi, cycling, strength training with light weights, stretching. The activity itself matters less than the consistency. The wealthy retirees I know treat daily movement like breathing, non-negotiable. It's built into their routine so deeply that not moving feels strange. And they've been doing this for decades. It didn't start in retirement. It started in their 40s and 50s. It became part of who they are. Why does this matter financially? Because healthcare costs are the single biggest variable expense in retirement. If you can stay mobile, independent, and out of hospital, you save tens of thousands of dollars, maybe hundreds of thousands over a retirement. But more than that, movement maintains your capacity to live independently, to travel, to play with grandchildren, to maintain your home, to stay engaged with life. Immobility leads to dependence. Dependence leads to expensive care. Expensive care drains resources fast. Habit 2. They eat well. Not perfectly, but consistently well. Real food, mostly plants, not too much processed rubbish, plenty of water. The wealthiest retirees I know don't diet. They've moved beyond dieting. They've built eating patterns that work for them, patterns they can sustain forever. They enjoy food. They cook, they eat socially, but they also have boundaries. They know what makes them feel good and what doesn't. And again, this has enormous financial implications. Type 2 diabetes, heart disease, obesity-related conditions. These are expensive. Medication, specialists, hospital visits, reduced mobility, all of it costs money and quality of life. Wealthy retirees avoid these traps, not through willpower, through habits, through systems, through decades of practice. Habit 3. They protect their sleep. They go to bed at reasonable hours. They create sleep routines. They limit alcohol. They manage stress. They treat sleep as sacred. Poor sleep destroys everything: your energy, your mood, your cognitive function, your immune system, your ability to make good decisions. Show me someone who sleeps badly, and I'll show you someone whose health and finances will suffer. Wealthy retirees know this. They prioritize sleep. They invest in good mattresses. They keep bedrooms cool and dark.
They wind down properly. They don't scroll their phones at midnight. Sleep is non-negotiable. Habit 4. They stay socially connected. They have friends, real friends, people they see regularly, people they laugh with, people they can call when things get hard. Loneliness is an epidemic among Australian seniors, and it's deadly, literally. Lonely people die younger. They have more health problems. They decline faster cognitively. They spend more on health care because they have no one to help them navigate the system. Wealthy, healthy retirees are never lonely. They've cultivated relationships. They join groups. They volunteer. They stay in touch with old friends. They make new friends. They build community. They invest in connection just as seriously as they invest in superannuation. Habit 5. They keep learning. They read. They take courses. They explore new skills. They stay curious. Their minds stay active. Cognitive decline is not inevitable. Yes, some slowing happens, but the retirees who keep learning, who keep challenging themselves mentally, they stay sharp, they stay engaged, they avoid dementia far more often than those who mentally check out. And again, financially, this matters. People with cognitive decline need care, expensive care, memory units in aged care facilities, support workers, legal guardians. The costs are staggering. Wealthy retirees protect their cognitive health as fiercely as they protect their financial health. Habit 6. They have purpose. They know why they get up in the morning. Maybe it's volunteering. Maybe it's caring for grandchildren. Maybe it's a passion project. Maybe it's part-time work they genuinely enjoy. Maybe it's mentoring. Maybe it's art. The specific purpose matters less than having one. Something beyond themselves, something that gives structure to their days, something that makes them feel needed, valued, alive. Retirees without purpose decline rapidly. They lose structure, they lose motivation, they watch too much television, they drink too much, they stop caring, and their health collapses. Wealthy retirees never retire from meaning. They retire from full-time work, but they never retire from mattering. Habit 7. They manage their money proactively. They know their numbers. They budget. They plan. They review their finances regularly. They work with advisors. They stay informed. This might seem obvious, but you'd be surprised how many retirees avoid their finances. They're afraid to look, afraid to know, so they just hope. And hope is not a strategy. Wealthy retirees face reality. They know exactly what they have, what they spend, what they can afford, what they can't, and they adjust accordingly. No surprises, no panic, just steady, informed management. Habit 8. They embrace preventative health care. They don't wait until something breaks. They get regular checkups. They see the dentist. They see the optometrist. They manage chronic conditions proactively. They take prescribed medications consistently. They catch problems early. Preventative care is far cheaper than emergency care. A skin check that catches melanoma early could save your life and save $50,000 in treatment. A colonoscopy that finds a polyp before it becomes cancer. A blood pressure medication that prevents a stroke. Wealthy retirees invest in prevention. They don't gamble with their health. They don't put things off. They treat their bodies like valuable assets because they are. Now, let me introduce you to Bruce and Jenny again. Different story, same couple. They're both 68 now, and they represent two possible paths. Let's start with the path they didn't take, the struggling path. Bruce and Jenny retired at 65. They had about $200,000 in superannuation combined. They owned their home. They qualified for a part-age pension. In this version, they made common mistakes. Bruce stopped exercising. He'd been walking regularly during his working years, but in retirement, he let it slide. He sat more, watched more television, put on 15 kilograms in 2 years. Jenny developed anxiety about money. She obsessed over every expense, but ironically, she never actually sat down and made a proper budget. She just worried. She avoided her super statements. Too stressful. She stopped seeing her financial advisor because the fees felt too high. They both started sleeping poorly. Bruce started having a few extra beers each evening, just to relax, just to take the edge off. Within 6 months, a few beers became 4 or 5. He gained more weight, his blood pressure went up, his doctor put him on medication. Jenny isolated herself. Her closest friends moved into a retirement village. She didn't follow. She stayed home. She stopped going to her book club. Too much effort. She missed a few gatherings, then felt too guilty to go back. Her social circle shrank to almost nothing. Within 3 years, Bruce had type 2 diabetes, mobility issues from the weight gain, sleep apnea. He needed a CPAP machine. More medications, more doctor visits, more costs. Jenny developed depression. Untreated at first. She didn't want to burden anyone. She didn't even tell Bruce how bad it was. Eventually, she ended up in hospital after a particularly dark night. Psychiatric care, medication, therapy, all necessary, all expensive. By year 5 of retirement, they'd blown through $80,000 in unexpected health costs. Their super was down to $120,000. Their part pension helped, but the medical gap payments, the medications, the specialists, it all added up. They were stressed, unhealthy, unhappy, trapped. This is the path of decline, and it's more common than you might think. Now let's look at the path they actually took, the wealthy, healthy path. Bruce and Jenny retired with the same $200,000 in super, same part pension, same starting point, but their choices were different. Before retiring, they'd spent a year preparing. They'd talked to a financial advisor, they'd created a real budget based on their actual spending. They knew they had $52,000 a year to work with between super drawdowns and the pension, and they knew exactly where every dollar would go. They also focused on health. Bruce kept up his walking. In fact, he increased it. Every morning, 6:30, he was out the door, 40 minutes, rain or shine. He joined a men's walking group that met twice a week, social and active. Perfect. Jenny started aqua aerobics at the local pool, 3 times a week. She loved it. The social aspect, the gentle exercise, the routine. She also joined a new book club specifically for retirees. She made new friends. She stayed connected. They both prioritized sleep. No screens after 9 p.m. Reading instead. Lights out by 10. Bruce limited his drinking to 1 or 2 standard drinks, maximum 3 times a week. His sleep improved, his energy improved, everything improved. They got proactive about health care, regular GP visits, skin checks. Bruce had a colonoscopy, clear. Jenny had her bone density checked, early osteopenia detected. She started calcium and vitamin D, light strength training, problem managed. They found purpose. Bruce started volunteering with Meals on Wheels 1 day a week, delivering meals to elderly shut-ins. He loved it. It gave him structure, made him feel useful. Jenny started tutoring primary school kids who were struggling with reading, 2 afternoons a week. She adored it. They traveled, but carefully. A road trip up the coast, staying in affordable accommodation, seeing friends. Nothing extravagant, but meaningful, joyful. 5 years into retirement, Bruce has lost 10 kilograms. He's fitter than he was at 60. No medications except for preventative cholesterol management. Jenny is happy, engaged, connected. No depression, no anxiety, just contentment. Their super balance is still around $190,000. They've drawn down carefully. Their investments have grown modestly. They've had almost 0 unexpected health costs, a few routine things, but nothing major. They're living within their means, and they're thriving. Same starting point, completely different outcomes. The difference wasn't luck. It was habits, daily choices, patterns, systems. This is what I want you to understand. Your retirement isn't determined by how much money you have at the start. It's determined by what you do with that money and what you do with your health every single day for 20 or 30 years. Bruce and Jenny, in the first scenario, had money, but they squandered their health, and the cost of poor health consumed their resources. Bruce and Jenny in the second scenario protected their health, and that protection preserved their resources. It's that simple and that profound. So what can you do right now, today, this week, to start building these habits? Let me give you a step-by-step plan. Actionable, practical, things you can implement immediately. Step 1. Move every day. Start today, not tomorrow, today. It doesn't matter what you do. Walk around the block. 10 minutes. That's it. Tomorrow, do it again. The day after, do it again. Build the streak. Make it automatic. Once daily movement becomes habit, increase it. 15 minutes, then 20, then 30. Add variety. Walk one day, swim another. Gentle yoga, cycling, whatever you enjoy, whatever your body can handle. Find ways to make it social. Join a group, walk with a friend, take a class. The social element increases adherence. You're less likely to skip if someone's expecting you. If you have mobility limitations, work with a physiotherapist. They can design a program that works for your body. There's always something you can do. Always. Step 2. Fix your food. Don't go on a diet. Don't restrict drastically. Don't try to be perfect. Just make better choices, consistently. Start with one meal, breakfast. Can you make it healthier? More protein, less sugar, more fiber? A vegetable omelet instead of white toast. Greek yogurt with berries instead of pastries. Once breakfast is sorted, move to lunch, then dinner, then snacks. One meal at a time. Sustainable changes, not dramatic overhauls. Cook more, eat out less. When you cook, you control the ingredients, you control the portions, you save money, you eat better. Drink more water. Aim for 8 glasses a day. It sounds simple, but most people are chronically dehydrated. Water helps everything: digestion, energy, cognitive function, skin, everything. Limit alcohol. This is hard for many Australians. Our culture is drinking culture. But alcohol is expensive. It disrupts sleep. It adds calories. It affects mood. If you're drinking every day, try cutting back to 3 or 4 days a week. If you're drinking heavily, talk to your GP. Step 3. Protect your sleep. Establish a routine. Same bedtime, same wake time, every day, even weekends. Your body craves consistency. Create a wind-down ritual. An hour before bed, dim the lights, turn off screens, read, listen to music, have a warm bath. Do something calming. Signal to your body that it's time to rest. Make your bedroom a sleep sanctuary. Cool temperature, dark, quiet, comfortable mattress, good pillows, no television, no clutter, just sleep. If you're struggling with sleep, talk to your GP. Sleep apnea is common and treatable. So is insomnia. Don't suffer silently. Fix it. Step 4. Build your social connections. This requires effort, intention. It won't happen automatically. If you've lost touch with old friends, reach out. Call them. Suggest coffee. Suggest lunch. Don't wait for them to contact you. Be the initiator. Join something, anything, a club, a group, a class, a volunteer organization, Probus, the local community center, the library, the Bowls Club. U3A, University of the Third Age, has amazing courses and social opportunities. Just show up, regularly. Say yes to invitations, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Social connection is medicine. It's preventative care for loneliness, and loneliness kills. If you're caring for a spouse or family member, don't isolate. Join a carer's support group. Connect with others in the same situation. You need support too. Step 5. Keep learning. Choose something that interests you. Learn Italian. Study astronomy. Take up painting. Learn photography. Study Australian history. Write your memoir. It doesn't matter what, just pick something. Commit to it. Set aside time each week. Read books. Watch documentaries. Take a course. Practice. Challenge your brain. This isn't about becoming an expert. It's about staying curious, staying engaged, keeping your neural pathways active. Use it or lose it. That's not a cliché, it's neuroscience. Step 6. Find your purpose. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? What makes me feel useful? What would I do even if no one paid me? Maybe it's volunteering. There are endless opportunities. Meals on Wheels, charity shops, environmental groups, animal shelters, literacy programs, mentoring. Find something that resonates. Maybe it's caring for grandchildren. That's valuable, meaningful. Don't underestimate it. Maybe it's creative work, art, writing, music, crafts. These things feed the soul. Maybe it's part-time work, something low stress that you actually enjoy. Staying connected to the workforce, even marginally, provides structure, income, and social connection. Whatever it is, build it into your routine. Make it regular. Make it matter. You need a reason to get up in the morning beyond watching television. Step 7. Get financially organized. I know this is scary, but ignorance is more dangerous than knowledge. Sit down with all your financial documents, superannuation statements, bank statements, bills, credit cards, everything. Lay it all out. Calculate your net worth. What do you own? What do you owe? Where do you stand? Calculate your income. Age pension, super drawdown, any other income. What's coming in each month? Calculate your expenses. Everything. Housing, utilities, food, transport, insurance, healthcare, entertainment, everything. Be honest. Use actual numbers from the last 3 months. Does your income cover your expenses? If yes, excellent. If no, you need to either increase income or decrease expenses. That's reality. Face it. Once you know your numbers, you can plan. You can make informed decisions. You can stop worrying vaguely and start managing specifically. If you don't have a financial advisor, consider finding one. Yes, they cost money, but they save you more than they cost if they're good. They help you optimize super. They help you maximize age pension. They help you invest wisely. They provide peace of mind. That has value. Step 8. Embrace preventative health care. Book a comprehensive health check with your GP. Tell them you want to be proactive about aging well. Ask for baseline tests, blood pressure, cholesterol, blood glucose, kidney function, liver function, thyroid, vitamin D, bone density if appropriate. If you haven't seen a dentist in years, book an appointment. Dental health affects overall health. Infections in your mouth can cause heart problems. Gum disease is linked to dementia. Take care of your teeth. See an optometrist. Your vision changes. You need regular checks. Glaucoma, macular degeneration, cataracts. Catch them early. If you're eligible for free programs, use them. Bowel cancer screening, breast screening. These save lives. Don't put them off. If you have chronic conditions, manage them actively. Take medications as prescribed. See specialists regularly. Monitor symptoms. Don't ignore warning signs. If you're overweight, work on it. Even modest weight loss has huge health benefits. If you smoke, quit. Use whatever support you need. Patches, medication, counseling. Smoking steals years from your life and dollars from your pocket. Step 9. Create systems, not just goals. Goals are fine, but systems are better. Don't say, I want to exercise more. Say, I walk every morning at 6:30. That's a system. Don't say, I want to eat better. Say, I cook dinner at home 5 nights a week and I start every day with a healthy breakfast. That's a system. Don't say, I want to be more social. Say, I attend book club every Tuesday and I call a friend every Sunday afternoon. That's a system. Systems are automatic. They don't require motivation, they require routine, and routines become effortless over time. Build systems that support the habits you want.
Step 10. Track your progress. You can't manage what you don't measure. Keep a journal. Nothing fancy, just notes. How did I feel today? Did I move? Did I eat well? Did I sleep? Did I connect with anyone? What went well? What could improve? This accountability keeps you honest. It shows patterns. It reveals what's working and what's not. It allows you to adjust. Review weekly. How is this week? What do I want to do differently next week? Small adjustments compound over time. We're coming to the close now, and I want to leave you with something important, something beyond habits and strategies. You're entering the third act of your life, and this act can be extraordinary. The first act was about growing up, learning, becoming. The second act was about building, career, family, responsibilities, obligations. The third act is about being, enjoying, savoring, contributing in ways that feed your soul, not just your bank account. But to truly embrace this act, you need two things: health and resources. Not unlimited resources, but enough. And not perfect health, but functional health. The ability to move through your days with energy and purpose. The habits we've discussed today give you both. They protect your health. And by protecting your health, they protect your resources. It's an interconnected system. Each habit reinforces the others. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do everything right every day. You just need to be consistent, to keep showing up, to make good choices more often than not. Over time, that consistency creates transformation. The wealthy, healthy retirees I know aren't superhuman. They're not lucky. They're not special. They're just consistent. They've built habits that serve them, and they protect those habits fiercely. You can do the same, starting today, starting with one habit, one choice, one step. Maybe it's a walk around the block. Maybe it's cooking a healthy dinner. Maybe it's calling an old friend. Maybe it's booking a doctor's appointment. Maybe it's just deciding that you deserve better, that you're worth the effort, because you are worth it. This phase of life is precious. You've earned it. You've worked for decades. You've raised families. You've contributed. You've sacrificed. Now it's your turn. Your turn to thrive. Your turn to enjoy. Your turn to live fully. But thriving doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design, by choice, by habit. The retirees who are winning at this phase didn't get there through luck. They got there through thousands of small, smart choices, choices that accumulated into a life they love. You can have that too. It's not too late. Whether you're 55 or 75, the habits you build from this point forward will shape everything: your health, your wealth, your happiness, your legacy. So make the choice, today, right now. Choose one habit from this conversation, just one. Commit to it, build it, protect it. Then add another and another. Over time, these habits will transform your retirement from something you endure into something you celebrate. You've already survived so much. You've adapted before. You can adapt again. You're stronger than you think, more capable than you realize, and the best is yet to come if you build the foundation for it. Before we finish, let me remind you one final time. This has been general information only, not personal financial or health advice. Your situation is unique. Always speak with licensed professionals, your GP, your financial advisor, before making significant changes to your health or financial approach. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for caring enough about your future to listen. Thank you for being willing to consider new approaches. I wish you health. I wish you wealth. I wish you connection. I wish you purpose. And I wish you a retirement that's everything you hope it will be. Take care, take action, and take charge. Your future self is counting on you. Don't let them down.